Hi there. I am making this video because I could use some advice for anybody that might have it. I have in front of me a Nikon F2 that I just picked up off of Facebook for $75, which I thought was a great deal. And I think it probably still is. I got it last night and I didn't inspect it when I got it. For the price, I really didn't feel it warranted close inspection, and it was late at night. Anyway, it's one day later. It's late at night again, and I've been tinkering with this camera all day. The issue I'm having is, unfortunately, it doesn't fire. The advance lever does not advance because the shutter will not fire. As you can see, the shutter button does depress completely fine, and I do, for the record, have it in the right setting. So it's not on lock. The shutter is depressing, but the camera's not firing. I have the, I just realized, mirror locked up. But yeah, there's no action there. So the advance lever won't advance either. So I took it to a repair shop, local, and guy behind the counter kind of seemed like a grump, didn't want to be there. He took it to the back room for maybe 2 minutes and came back and told me it'd be like a $300 repair, maybe more. I can't remember what he said. So no. I decided I'd just take it home. It's an F2. I've heard great things about these cameras. It seems solid. I wish I could have showed it to you before I took it apart. It looked fantastic. It still does. It's still pretty shiny. Anyway, I got the bottom plate off. That was the first thing I did. Got the bottom plate off, and after I did that, I went ahead and I, fired the shutter. Pressed the shutter button to see what I could see, and you could see. I get it close, get it right angle. There's a little bit, there's a plunging movement right there, up and down, a vertical movement, and beside it you can see it's causing this sort of camming movement too. But that's all. That's all that's doing. However, doing some Googling rudimentary online, watching some videos, there's a way to force fire the shutter or release the shutter. So I could do that by just placing a little tiny screwdriver right about here or over here, different spots. I do it up here, and it's fired. So the shutter does fire. So that shutter release mechanism that I activated all the way over here-ish, but the actual shutter button movement is happening over here. So there's a complete disconnect all here. There's no engagement from let me find my shutter button. Oh, let me wind the camera. So now the shutter's fired, I can wind, and now can't wind because, of course, we're on an X-frame, but it doesn't fire. So there's no, again, showing you that movement. It's happening all the way over here, but I actually can force activate the shutter over here in this area. So between these two areas there's no engagement, and I don't know if that's something that happens down in this area. I did more research, did more Googling, and my next step is going to be taking off the top plate. But that became a pain in the ass because of this piece. This is just a flat, threaded on piece. No slots, no dimples, nothing to actually grip it with. You just have to get a friction grip on it, which I could not do. So I went on there with some super glue and a pencil eraser to try to make something I could grip onto. That didn't work at all. So I'm going to have to go over that with some acetone or some nail polish remover. That was always the plan. I'm not worried about that. Anyway, gave up on the top plate. and decided to come in here next because I think people online were saying this is the slow shutter mechanism. It's definitely the self-timer mechanism, that's for sure. So I took this off next, and I took a look at it, and honestly, this piece seems okay. I mean, maybe I could clean it, but the self-timer before I took it off worked fine, and the self-timer would, you know, activate the same movement as the shutter. When I would do the self-timer, it would count down, and then when it would get to the end, it would do the same vertical movement without activating anything else. So this thing, I think, as far as the self-timer component goes, is fine. But if this does have anything to do with the actual shutter release, some sort of linkage between the shutter button and the actual shutter release mechanism down here, if there is a connection that goes through this piece, then maybe that's something. So I got in here, took that piece off, and started poking around, seeing what I saw. And so as I'm pressing I'm going to hold the camera steady while I do this. I'm pressing the shutter button with my thumb, and you can see vertical travel right there. And this is a bracket that sits behind this piece, on the back of this piece. And so somehow things do cam together, and I tried to look to see how they do. But I took it out, put it back in, took it out, put it back in, and tried different shutter speeds. It didn't have any solution, didn't solve anything as far as the actual releasing of the shutter. What I did find, however, is that my slow shutter speeds, altogether, I think it's 1/30 and lower, or is it 1/15 and lower? Either way, my slow shutter speeds, whatever they call that piece, the slow shutter regulator, whatever that's called, doesn't work. So let me go ahead and show you that. The shutter is already cocked, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it, and I'm gonna put the mirror up for this. This will make it easier to see. Man, this is stiff. Hey, look, pants. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna put it down to just 1/8. That's what it's already on. And I'm just gonna release the shutter like normal. And maybe I'll just have it actually face this way this time. And it's definitely been way longer than 1/8 of a second. The shutter does not close. To get it to close, I just changed the shutter speed back to anything over 1/30. 1/30 or higher, the shutter works fine. At least as far as opening and closing. I have no idea if the times are accurate. 1/15 and lower, the shutter will not close. So that happens. So I don't know if that's this piece. I don't know if that's elsewhere. I don't know anything. Help me. But to give more insight, here is, there's the lens. Ooh, okay. Why are you not cranking now? Are you around? This is different. Oh, there we go. Okay. A little stiff. Ooh. So here's the inside of this, and you can see that vertical movement. The other thing I found is you see that, oh my god, this is going to be a mirrored screen, so I think that's going to be on the right hand side when I finish recording this video. But see, I point to it. this silver rod with this cutout at the bottom here, this cutout at the bottom. That silver rod, as I hold my camera still, and oh man, I gotta hold the camera really still to show you. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, it's not gonna show it. I'm moving way too much. But that, there you go. You can kind of see it. Let me get in a little closer. You might just have to believe me. That thing changes angle. Oh yeah, there you go. You can see it there. As I change shutter speed. So that's been going from bold to 1 second. And bold to 1/2000. So that thing changes angle. So that obviously has something to do with the shutter speed. I have no idea if that has actually anything to do with the shutter release. That rod does have some spring tension to it. It does. I can actually kind of get a little bit of downforce on it by using that notch cutout. And just slightly, it's got a little bit of play, but it has a definitely has a spring return to it. So that rod terminates down here. If I can get in close and show you. It's down in, oh man, I'm showing you black on black right here. Get in there. It's set in. It's that set in pin right there is the bottom of that rod. I don't believe that engages with anything down here. I think that's just, you know, how they have it set, or anchored, I should say. But I think that's all I've really come to discover about this. All of my understanding has been exhausted. Anybody, an expert on F2s, could help me out? Be really great. I would love to use this camera. I have some lenses for it. When I picked it up, it came with some push-pull zoom lenses that I don't care about, that were in pretty mediocre condition. But it did have a 51.4 lens, single coated, that I'm excited about. I don't have a 1.4 lens. That's pretty cool. But before that, I have a oh my gosh, what is it? It's a 135 3.5 lens. If that sounds right. And then I have my favorite, which I just got for a steal as well. Love Facebook Marketplace. A 20 millimeter 2.8 4 2.8, I think. 2.4, I can't remember, but 20 millimeter. That thing is cool. So I want to use this camera. I would love to use this camera. This camera is a beast, and this thing is cool. This thing is really cool. Now I'm just geeking out here. This thing works like a dream. No problems with this. I, did take out the batteries when I got back here. That's one of the very first things I did after getting the camera, and put in new ones. Cleaned out the battery well because there was some old battery corrosion in there. Put fresh batteries in there, and meter works great. No complaints. The viewfinder is massive. I am so happy with how huge the viewfinder is on the F2. No complaints there. The only complaint I would have about this thing is that the actual meter within the prism, or within the viewfinder, I should say, as you look through the viewfinder, the meter on the bottom hard to see. So that'll take some getting used to. But ultimately, I'm just trying to express how excited I am for this camera. And I'm putting in the work here, or I'm trying to. So for God's sake, somebody out there help me. Please. Please. Also, this blue tape's been sitting here because this is a weird camera angle. So I couldn't tell if I was ever out of frame or not. So I just put that blue tape to kind of help the camera stay where it needs to be able to see it. This has now been a 15-minute video and change. I'm going to have to upload this to YouTube, I guess. If you've taken the time to watch all of it, thank you so much. I hope somebody will have some input for me. Otherwise, if you don't have any input, maybe just, follow along and see if I figure this out. I feel like this is going to be a community effort. And I'd love to see what the first pictures I get out of here will be.